big 200 special episode.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Oh,
Did you get me something?
Welcome in. Huh?
Bam, 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 bam.
I will think of something. Ting, 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 pong.
The fireworks are going off. 200 episodes. How have we done it? Roll the clips.
Roll
Huh?
the clips. I'm just going to
No
phone it into a
clips?
slideshow.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? As every time I do one of these, it goes on my computer and then I number it. Before I come up with a title, it's in my folder as like episode 199. And so like literally, and it hit me. I was like, oh my God, we're like, the next one's going to be 200. And then it did not occur to me until you just said that. I would have gone this whole show
Same year when I made the clips.
not mentioning it. And then I would have finished it out and then edited it. And I'm like, holy shit, that was the 200th episode.
That was the 200. Yeah,
Well,
that's because you know what? You know what it is? We put out an anniversary-worthy quality show every week.
right.
And so it's like, what's the difference? You know?
And we eat cake after every episode.
That's right.
I have
And
a
Johnny-
sheet cake from Safeway that says the Cavalry on it in big, heavy orange frosting. Episode, whatever it just was, 198, 199, and I have a big cake after every episode. It doesn't seem funny to me that, now we're going to have a.
it's just another episode. Hey,
Yeah.
did you get anything in the mail ever?
Yes. Oh, wait, hang on. Was I supposed to like, oh my God.
I don't know. I totally forgot about it until earlier today. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Poster time, baby.
It's poster time. And you know what?
Are you getting yours framed?
Should have been at some point. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to sit up here in my office, my garage office for, I'd say, 6 years. And we'll really think about getting this bad boy
getting the old framer
framed.
Well, maybe I'll just have to mail you a frame to get that.
Yeah.
Done.
Once the sticker mule ever run deals on doing my dry cleaning either, because that's another one that's just sits in the corner waiting.
I'm gonna order as soon as they come out with custom designed frames. It's gonna have little Cavalry logos around the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent
one to you, and also the Patreonians that requested it, and the top tier Patreon got it without asking.
Without even asking.
That's
well, that was great. Thanks, Johnny. That's like my little 200th episode present. Now I didn't get you anything. Now I feel bad.
No, I didn't. You know what? You're my present.
Oh, that makes me feel
Just
good.
you promising to open mouth kiss me next time we see each other is promise enough.
When are we? But see, then you never know when it'll be. We have nothing on the books. Dude, I'm feeling a little I gotta be honest, a little bloated right now.
Oh, so, do tell.
You want to hear my news? So, I'm on a fitness journey, trying to get into shape. I'm doing pretty good, but then I got into these protein shakes, because they're like, you got to have protein after you work out. Otherwise, it's a big waste. It's like, I like shakes, So I got this like $30 blender. Been making these shakes. You can put, sneak some greens in there, but you put like frozen fruit and the powder and some peanut butter.
Is it more of a smoothie?
Yeah, it's like a smoothie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we do those.
It's delicious. Put any fruit you want in there, strawberries, whatever. It's great.
What's this powder though?
It's protein. So it's like protein powder. So like the idea is, I guess, if you think you don't get enough protein normally at lunch, then I don't know what the idea is, but you need protein, they say, these people. But I don't know. But I'm not to the point where I can do it as like a meal replacement. I still get hungry for like.
Supposed to?
Well, I don't know. Someone weigh in. But I'm putting a lot of shit in there. I'm putting like a big hoop thing of peanut butter and yogurt and fruit and this powder and lettuce, So you're like,
Yeah.
maybe that is supposed to be a meal. It seems like a lot of calories. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like so I can't like
It
feels
doesn't
like I'm
fill you up.
yes, I don't feel full. So I still have
Huh.
lunch. But like today I was like, okay, this is like I'm looking at what I'm putting in this blender and I'm like, God damn, this should be like able to hold me, for lunch.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still had a little bit. We had like ground turkey and rice and this thing from last night left over. So I was like, I'll have a little bit of that. Or I just had the rest of it, which wasn't much. Probably wouldn't have been enough for like a normal lunch. But because
Yeah.
I was having the shake or the smoothie, I was like, that together should be like a good. And
Yeah.
like tonight, it was, I don't know. So I don't know what's happening with my body though, because then like at like 6:30, which is a little early for me to get like really hungry for dinner. You ever
Yeah.
get so hungry you're like, if I don't eat right now, I'm gonna pass out.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. That's the feeling I had. Like literally as I was
Ooh.
making ground beef, I was gonna make tacos. I was like, if I had to like eat the beef out of the pan, I was like so hungry. So I make myself
Yeah.
these two giant tacos because I'm starving, and Heidi's got Ginger in the bath. I can't even wait for him. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to town on these things. And then I get
Sure.
through like one and a half of them, and I'm the most. I thought I was gonna puke. I was like, I am so
Um,
full. I am about to explode. And so I don't know what these shakes thing. I can't do it. It's like, but I bought the biggest tub of this shit you've ever seen. So I'm like committed. But
of the some of the powder.
yeah, it's this fucking thing's
Yeah.
huge. It looks like a hot tub. And so I feel like I
Wow.
have to do it, but it's just I don't know if I don't someone
Um,
if anyone's ever done this before, they should give you some tips on how to make them
Can
or
I weigh in on my thoughts based
please.
on I have no knowledge, but I've been told that fat like the people that do stomach staples like they can't eat ice cream. They're not supposed to eat ice cream because you don't fill up on ice cream because it doesn't go in your stomach. It just so I wonder if the smoothie has the same effect where you haven't eaten a meal in so long, so your stomach is shrinking down, and you've
Yeah.
given it that smoothie, and that didn't expand your stomach. So then when you had the tacos that you were striving for, it filled up so quick.
Yeah,
That's my
something.
theory. I don't
But
know.
it was I was like, "Oh my god, I thought I was going to puke. I was
And
like,
what day was this?
today. This was like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh,
sitting
okay. I was
now.
gonna.
It's like slowly subsiding, but I was like almost gonna text you like,
I was gonna ask what what the following shit was like, but maybe we'll
no,
get. Hey, maybe the 200th episode. Maybe we'll get a live. You know, as it
a very
happens.
a very special episode. Roll the
Very.
clips, boy, Johnny. We've had a lot of great
Huh?
shit moments over the years. Let's look back at some of our favorites, shall we?
It's some of our favorites. For some reason, our clip show episode was longer than any episode we've ever had. I went for a run, not the night before last night, a 6 mile run, which I haven't
Hell
done that
yeah.
long in so long. And I stopped at Taco Bell on the way home, and it was glorious. Oh my God.
You
Two chili
ran
cheese burritos.
you ran into like you Taco Bell's on your jogging route.
Yeah, this one, yeah, it's a 6 mile loop. And on the way back, I stopped by Target. It's about 2 miles from home. So I went four, had Taco Bell, finished it off with the final two.
And you jogged after Taco Bell
Uh, I've jogged probably a half mile of the 2 miles
and just walked the rest.
after Taco Bell. Yeah, and
Yeah.
walked the rest.
Yeah.
My cool down.
Yeah, that would be a no. I ca- I mean I can work out, I can run after I eat, but it's tough like fast food. I feel
Oh,
like I'm
Taco
gonna
Bell.
die.
Yeah, I think my body is accustomed to it. It knows where to put it.
What about the beverage situation? Can you do like soda and then run?
No, I just water. I just get a cup for water.
Oh, see that actually that's probably the worst thing because that's what I would do. Like remember we used to have like basketball tournaments in high school and this is like summer league stuff, so it was like low stakes
Yeah.
JV C team stuff. And then you'd break for lunch, and we had a car. Some of the kids would have cars by then. I think I had a car by then. So I
Yeah.
drive to the Godfather's all you can eat buffet between games and just
Yes.
house pizza and Diet Coke, and then try to play those afternoon games.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
pretty
Coke
dead
bouncing
legs.
around in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. And then you get a side ache and stuff. It's horrible.
here's my, I don't know if you tell me you can see this. I'm showing you my route and it zooms in.
Oh yeah.
And then look
Oh,
how
and
it
it
zooms
shows
out.
how fat. So there's the red part when you're like hauling ass.
Yeah, I guess so. And then you see that little detour?
Yeah. It's so funny because it says Taco Bell on the map, like it's the Smithsonian or something. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh,
um, well, buddy, that's
well,
good. Good for you. 6 miles. That's a
thank
long
you.
ways.
I had to reach my 25-mile a month quota. I was a little behind. I have an update. I'm excited. I think I'm going to get to poop in a box for my doctor. You ever done that?
I've pooped in a box, but not for my doctor. Did I tell you that I pooped in a box for we were kids because we were trying to make pig soup for we didn't like this neighbor behind my buddy Jason's house,
Uh-huh.
and he shared the back fence, So
Yeah.
the big dreamer is like, we're gonna make the most disgusting concoction and then pour it on him. So it started out, it was just
Pour
like,
it on him?
yeah. So of
Okay.
course, at first we were like, we'll just do like dirt, mud. It's basically like dirt and garbage and water
Yeah.
and wet leaves and just
Sure.
let it really like sit in there for months. But then finally we're like, well, what's the grossest thing of all? Human poop.
Andrew's shit.
So everybody, no, it wasn't supposed to be just me. It was like everybody went home. Like, okay, all of our assignment was like, come back with some human poop. And I was the only one. Everybody else, of course, like thought better of it. It was like, I don't even know how the mechanics of this would work. And I literally brought back a turd, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, get rid of it! What are you doing?" What? I thought we had a plan.
We all agreed.
Yeah, but you're doing it for medical reasons. It sounds. And we never dropped the bomb on Lee. That was his name. We never dropped the bomb on Lee. He got away scot
Oh,
clean.
good for Lee.
We just
If you're
lost
listening,
interest. No,
yeah.
he's almost certainly dead. But
The plan fell
not from
apart when
us.
Andrew showed up with his shit in hand.
They like okay, yeah, we've seen how evil we are. It's like it was like bringing a mirror to show the error of our ways when I brought that box of poop.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
you're pooping in a box for what reason?
I went to the doctor's general checkup and Aaron's like, well, I haven't checked your blood, see what you're low on so I can buy a bunch of, vitamins. And I was like, all right, so did blood draws and then he looked at it and he's like, yeah, this is, everything checks out. Your cholesterol's a little high. You know where he made the mistake is he said it's a little high, not alarmingly. And that's when I
Yeah,
was like, oh, so it's probably
Taco Bell on the way
fine.
home then.
You can't do that. You can be overly like. So anyway, and then he was like, all right, so I'm gonna check. I got your levels. I'm gonna check them again in 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll have you check. I'll check your whatever they call whatever's in your poop. And he's like, and that'll be a stool and urine sample, which we'll send you home with a home kit.
Well, a home
All
kit.
right, it's a home kit for
Ooh.
pooping.
Now, what are the mechanics of it? Like, is it
I
just?
don't have it. I don't know. I
Oh, you
haven't
don't have
gone
it.
back. I don't have the
Oh,
box. I assume it's just like a pizza box, like a smaller pizza box
it's
for
got
poop.
like that little plastic thing in the middle to make sure you don't
A little Barbie
slam it
table.
shut. Yeah. I was envisioning like something you could literally poop into, like a little, like, like kids' toilets.
Like a poster tube?
No, not
What do you mean? What do you mean?
not something you'd shove up your ass. I'm talking about like a little mini toilet or something that would like
Okay.
maybe you'd put on your toilet and then it would catch and then you could like seal it
Oh,
shut.
Like a net.
Again, a net probably not efficient due to the
Porous
holes,
nature.
the porous nature of a net. I was thinking of like a plastic tub type situation.
But how would that be any more beneficial than just pooping in a bag?
Because you don't have to
You
like
know?
squat down and hold it behind you. I mean, how are you going to do it?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let you know.
Hey,
I'll let you know. Trust me.
200th
This
episode,
topic,
Patreon
yeah.
listeners, make sure to have Aaron
Episode
film the whole thing.
202. Yeah, that's the Patreon level 1. You get the video of me shitting in a box.
Aaron can do the honors and film.
Yeah. That'd be great if right after this episode drops, our Patreon subscription level drops to 0
Yeah.
immediately.
Everyone's like, I'm going to preemptively get out of this in case it happens
Yeah.
to start playing before I have a chance to exit out. Um, yeah, so you're at that age where they got to check your stool. I don't think I've ever had to bring a stool sample. It's like a dog. I like what they do for dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stool sample. Why do they call it a stool? They should call it a log sample.
Because you sit. Because you sit. You sit on a stool.
Yeah, but if you sit on a stool, you're making a real big mess of your butt cheeks and your taint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your taint. That's a good point.
Right? I mean, I don't know. It depends which way you're leaning. You know, if you're like kind of reclined, but I guess if you're uptight, it might just kind of come out. Hit your tailbone,
It's
smear a line.
you know what's so funny?
What's that?
Like I don't know. I don't know anything about how, like, especially I grew up with brothers, two brothers, and I did not have like, steady girlfriends at any point, high school or college.
Okay.
Like, I've known nothing about like women peeing. Like, did we talk about this before? But like, when was the first time you found out women wipe just when they pee?
Oh, yeah, I might have been married.
Yeah, me too. Because Heidi would always come over and complain like, you're out of toilet paper. Or they're like how many times have you taken bombs in my bath? Jeez,
Heidi, babe, we need to
we
talk.
need to have a. Maybe you need to poop in a box and send it away. But it's weird. Like sometimes my daughter, she's now we don't even use like a booster seat on the toilet anymore. She just straight up raw dogs these toilets, like adult sized toilets. But like sometimes she'll pee and it'll go out or like
at the front.
Yeah, like
she's not sitting far enough back.
Like yeah, I guess, but I feel like I pushed her far enough back, but I'm like, I'm too embarrassed to ask Heidi, like, is that like normal? Should she be able to pee straight at me like that? Or is she just leaning back? I don't know. Something's going on. But every once in a while, she doesn't get it all in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, listeners, leave a comment. Tell me what's wrong with my daughter.
Sound off below. If you have extensive knowledge of the anatomy of a woman,
we do not.
Right.
We do not.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, my stomach's feeling a little better after all that delightful conversation.
Oh.
Thanks for bringing me.
Might not get a show.
No, I don't think so.
What would someone have to pay you to have your full-time job be just the guy that opens the boxes?
Oh God.
Lab?
$450,000 a year.
$450,000 a year, you do it?
I think I would.
Wow.
Like, can I still do stand up on the side, like shows in town for fun? Like I can, like
sure.
I can still pursue stand up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a go to the office job. You can't do that one from home. I mean, I could have.
You got to do it you just.
They could mail it to and I could just be like, honey, I'm going to do it in the garage. Don't worry. I'm not going to bring it into the house. Yeah. But
you just have to get the boxes open.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like that's your job. You just you open a box, you take a sniff, and then you put it in the tray, and then
Well, that is
you know.
somebody's job. I mean, it's funny you say that, but somebody's doing that for less than $450,000 a year, probably. Like maybe for they're maybe getting paid $150,000 a year. Like, who do you think that person is that's doing it?
I don't know. I
They're
don't
getting
know.
paid pretty good, but
You think
not
it's a
like,
medical person?
yeah. I hope. Who do you think you're sending this to? That's
I don't know.
some car mechanic is just going through boxes of poop on the side for what? Why do you think you're doing this? Of course, it's
I
going
would
to a
love to
medical
see.
person.
You see those fucking Instagram videos of those housewives dancing, and it just the text shows up. Hey, I make 6 figures a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's how I do it. And then
It's
it
so
just
easy.
cuts the I open boxes of shit. Uh,
I watched one of
I don't know,
those.
like a scientist, like a lab person, not a medical
Yeah.
person, but just like,
Well, they're like a medical lab person, I would think.
yeah,
I think there's some crossover there.
like it's probably the intern that has to go through, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but 450. Would you do it for 450? I mean, you're living a pretty good life at $450,000 a year.
Oh yeah, I do it for 450. I do it for shit. I do it for 425.
Well, don't undercut me now. It's gonna be a race to the bottom. Next thing you know, we're just literally doing it.
We're we're doing it for just 30,000 a year.
I'm gonna do it for free for a while just to prove to you how good I am at it,
Yeah,
and
I'll
then
pay
you'll want
you.
to hire
I'll
me.
pay you to watch me do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just so
submit
you
for
can
some festivals.
yeah. Oh, I did that today. I just before we hopped on here.
What festival are you submitting for?
I see. You know what? This is so stupid. I submitted.
It is
Oh,
stupid.
maybe I should save this for the Patreon.
No, now I'm too curious. Because what if we forget?
But I submitted to the Milwaukee Festival, and I wrote, these you do it, and I've done it the last. I think I've done it the last 2 years or whatever. And you can write, anything else you want us to know? And I just wrote, "Hey, I love you guys. You guys put me on the last 2 years. No hard feelings if you don't want to have me on this year." Like, why would I? First of all, that's a stupid thing to. But I was like,
But why do you have to
I feel like if I
submit?
don't submit, I'm sending a message. Not
Yeah,
because
but
I'd love
like
to do it. I'd love to do it. It's more shows, but I also feel like, are they going to feel? Because I'm friends with them, so are they going to feel obligated? Are they going to be like, we
they
haven't
should
ever
feel
meet?
obligated. They should be honored that you're willing to do it. No,
That's
you
true.
shouldn't have to
That's true.
submit. Do you send a
Yeah, I'm
tape?
gonna
Like that's just so stupid.
YouTube clip.
Like you literally saw me. I was there.
I know. I mean, you have to fill out the form to get to the end to submit, so you got to put something in.
Some guy. It's so funny because there's a Cannon Beach Comedy Festival, I guess, next weekend. I didn't know that, but I was in Cannon Beach and there's a theater there. And I walked by. I was like, oh man, this would be a great place to have a show, And I bet be a nice, it's a good town, a little bit of money there. It's beautiful coastal scenery, tourists, I'd be like, this would be perfect. You probably sell tickets pretty easy here. So I
Yeah.
filed it away in the back of my head. And then of course, next thing I know, I see on Instagram there's a comedy festival there. Then and the festival follows me on Instagram. Then they send me a message like, "Hey, are you available? Do you want to do the Cannon Beach Comedy Festival next week?" It's like, no,
Oh,
I'm booked. But like, what kind of festival is like booking people a week out?
wow.
But they probably wanted me to like host a show or something. I don't know because
Yeah.
maybe they're bringing in some like bigger people like Eddie Pepitone
Yeah.
or something. But then I was like, I don't really interested in doing the festival. I just want to book a show there for myself, and make all the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So but
Did
then
you
I was like,
respond to
okay,
that?
so is this bad form? So then I was like, could I just message him back and be like, hey, could you just tell me like who your contact is at the theater, or is he gonna get weirded out if I do that? You
Oh,
know, it's kind of a pickle.
yeah, it is a pickle.
So I think I'll just
But
reach out to
what's
the theater independently, and if he like confronts me about it, I'll just go, "Oh, I did that before I even knew you had a comedy film."
Yeah, I didn't even put together that you were. I got so many emails going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was busy shitting in a box.
Yeah. I
I
just,
can't keep
yeah.
my head straight.
Ugh.
So, but yeah, man, it's been a while since I've done a comedy festival. I'm trying to think of the last one I did.
We should sign up
Probably
for,
Laughing Skull. I think I did
oh,
Laughing
what
Skull
year?
right before I moved to Portland. So like 4 years ago.
Oh,
Four.
how was it?
It was good. It wasn't a competition anymore, you know. It was just like,
Oh, okay.
so I
Yeah.
did it way long before that, and when it was a competition, and it
Yeah.
was fine. It was good. It's just I don't know those.
See, I did it when it was a competition. I think I did it 3 times,
Yeah,
and I liked it. It was good. You know, they had
yeah,
actual industry people there and
yeah.
parties, and I mean, I got psyched myself out and got stressed about the competition aspect every time. But
Yeah. I actually did. That's probably did better in that competition than I've ever done. I've never won a comedy competition. Have you ever won a comedy competition? And I never will because I will, at this point, I have too much to risk to enter one. So unless it's like
you have too
some
much to risk.
nationally,
What?
it would be too much for me to risk reputation wise to enter a comedy competition. You know what I mean? I've way more to lose than I do to gain. You
Well, why?
understand what I'm
Like, what do you
saying?
lose? I mean, if you don't win, what are you losing really?
My
Like, people are gonna
respect
be
of
like,
my
oh my god.
peers.
No, if you do like the San Francisco competition or Seattle competition and you don't win,
Yeah,
like
that'd be
people be
humiliating.
like, "Oh my God, Andrew didn't win that!" Like that
Yes.
that 3 week thing that I've heard
I mean,
horror stories
anything can
about the
happen.
judging and the.
Anything could happen, but I would hope that I could, at this point, win a comedy competition because most of those are made up of people who are not like as far along.
Yeah,
You know, it has nothing to do with
yeah,
like talent. It's just like experience. You know.
right, right. Trying to think, I did. I got to the finals of that. The one we did. Oh yeah, that was the one. Was that the one?
Yeah, you
Was that
did
where
good
we
in that
met?
one. You got like 30. That's when we met. I mean,
Oh yeah, third.
probably.
I got third in the Laughing Skull the last year I did it. That
Okay.
was the one Grant Lyon won, and then I won. I did win first place in the what's it called? It was a Comcast. Oh my gosh, it was at Morty's. I can't even remember what it's called. It was like Comcast's. It was me. I think I beat out Niemiller, Ryan Niemiller.
Oh
It was me and
wow.
him. It was like in the
Damn.
final round. It was like a 3 round thing. And then the final round, it was like me, him, a couple other people, and it was pretty obvious that it was either going to be me or him.
I kind of miss the
Trial by laughter. That's what it's
oh
called.
okay. Yeah, oh in Montana, that was one I did too. That was a competition. Montana was a competition. I think I got to the finals but didn't.
Is that
But like
Big Sky?
Big Sky.
Oh, I hear good things
But
about that. So
no,
that is a competition. So like you
it
wouldn't
was
do
when I
that.
did it.
It was or wasn't?
It was when I did it. And then you know who won was Dulce Sloan, who's now on the Daily Show.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And then
But
Chris
comedy
Cope won it. Didn't he 1 year?
yep, he won well, I think the year I did it, he was there and got like second maybe.
Huh.
Preacher Lawson was there too. I might be confusing all this with different. Yeah, Preacher Lawson was there, but Dulce won. Brad Upton was there. Brad Upton
Oh,
crushed. You know, remember
the
Brad Upton?
grandfather of Dry Bar.
I know the king of. But he you know, it was a 10-minute set or whatever. And I remember like
Yeah,
he just crushed for 10 minutes and then like checking, you know, everyone's looking at the time because he was pushing it. And they had like, you know, if you go over, there were some sort of rules about
yeah.
if you go over, this happens or that happens. I mean, when I tell you he hit 10-0-0, he hit 10. I mean, he's such a pro. He didn't look at his watch once, just did 10 minutes and landed, got like, didn't seem rushed, big applause breaks, accounted for all that, and just said, good night. boom, 10 zeros at like not even a second over. It
Wow.
was like, God damn, this guy is like a real
Damn.
pro.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
that
kind of
was,
nerdy to me.
yeah, kind of a nerd.
What a nerd.
Never gonna
You
work.
gotta go long, man.
I was just doing the jerk off motion the entire time.
Yeah. This is
Uh,
art. Jeez, it's not a fucking
yeah,
science project. This is
my
the art,
art.
Brad. Come on.
But I hated
Yeah.
comedy competitions too because like in my home club giggles we'd have one every year and never won that one. I'd always get to the finals, never win. And then the owner of the club would accuse me of choking. He'd be like, "Oh, you choked," or like, "Hey, don't, hey, you better win," because they were head to head matchups. It's like you
Yeah.
better win tonight. You better beat this guy. I was like, well, what can I really do? Like, you can't do your jokes harder. It's not like it's not like I can really like dig deep and
Yeah.
joke as hard as I've ever joked before. You just have to like go out there and hope the crowd happens to like your jokes. You really have no
Yeah.
recourse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too late to write new stuff.
You didn't want to just throw the script out and go Robin Williams on them.
Oh God, like that movie. Have you ever seen Punchline? That's
No.
the one
That's
with
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then that's the big climax of the movie. He's losing the crowd because he's doing his act, but then he just
Oh,
doesn't do his act and he starts talking to him and he starts
yeah.
killing, and then everything changes. And it's like, that's not what would happen at all. You would eat
That's-
absolute shit. And then you just start yelling at them. And then all the comics in the back would be go, he's snapping, and everybody would come in and laugh at you from the back. But the audience would hate it.
yeah. Yeah. It's funny. We know that, but you ever have that where you're like, oh God, I'm not super prepared. Whatever. I'll come up with something. I'll do my material and I'll just do some crowd work and I'll wow them. And you're on stage and you're just like, oh, it's just not there. It's
Yeah.
just not there.
I mean,
Uh,
I don't know. It's a two-way street, you know? Like,
yeah.
I can tell immediately with a crowd if you're gonna sometimes, because I'm a funny person, you're a funny person. If the crowd just lets you be loose like that and goes with you on stuff, then you're gonna find
Yeah.
improvisational, funny new things. And then you're also gonna feel free to try premises you haven't tried before. But
Yep.
if
And
they're
it'll come
tight
out.
and
Yeah.
they're looking at you like scared, you're like, all right, fine, I'll just do the hits.
Yeah. Ugh.
Stupid audiences. Can't stand them.
Fucking,
They're the worst.
uh,
Yeah. Well, any other wait, do we have anything to update? Like,
I have a big update. Well, this is just like this is a discussion point, not a topic.
okay.
So this is I can't on a whim. We talked about it, but we always say it's in the future. But we bought a car from just in bed. We're just sitting up in bed like before going to bed, looking at the Carvana or whatever the apps are.
It's
I was like, hey, look
crazy.
at this. This is and everyone's like, oh, let me see. Oh, we never. Oh my gosh, it's a hybrid and 4-wheel drive. I never see it, and it's just like, well, let me see. And it was like, well, okay, just put in your information because I want to see what the next screen is because I want to see how this works. And before you know it, we're like, we just committed to buying this car. And
Wow.
so she was like, well, I was like, well, I don't want to just throw a chunk of our savings, so we have to finance. So she's like, oh, okay. So she applied. Well, on my phone, we ordered the car, and on her phone, she applied for a loan.
Which
And so now we're
approved immediately.
right.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, you're approved. And then so now we're getting a Ford Escape to replace the Prius.
Oh
Our van is a
no.
2008 and it's I don't know how much it's got 185,000 miles on it. It's going to go soon. So I was like, if we're going to replace both, the reason for the replacing the Prius is because she's just terrified to
in
drive in
the
the snow
snow.
because of
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
360s, and it was
I
just.
I I kind of understand. The sandbags
And
weren't
and
cutting
we
it.
could get more money for that than we'll get $10 for the van, but so now we are gonna have a car loan. They were both paid off. Now we're gonna have a car loan, and I'm just terrified that the van's gonna shit out on us in like 6 months.
Yeah. Huh.
But
Well,
so now it's exciting.
but you're doing the right thing because like the Prius, like you said, you're gonna actually get money for the Prius. The van, what would you
Right.
do? You don't want to, as long as you can drive. This is all. Look at it this way: everything you get from the van now is like bonus.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Prius we drive. Is it's only got like 135,000 miles or something, but it's a
Yeah.
2006. I'm like, man, once you get to like 18, 17, 18-year-old car, everything's kind of a bonus. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to get an electric car, but uh I got one of those. I rented one of those. Did I tell you about this? When
I
you
don't think.
rent a car, you ever do the manager special where they just
No.
tell you, so like it's cheaper, but you don't get to pick the kind of car.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So I just show
I
up
didn't
and
know
then
it was
it's
called the
like
manager
it
special.
was like $18 a day. I'm like, yeah, I don't care if it's big or small, or I just got to get there. And I was going to Seattle and back, but Heidi needed the car. We only have one car, so Heidi needed the car to take Ginger to. So I was going to rent a car, and it's dirt cheap if you do it downtown Portland. But they give me a Chevy Bolt, which is like a electric
Plug-in
car.
electric.
Yeah, but it's like early days electric and not a high dollar one, so it has no range. So like literally I had to stop to go to Seattle, which is a 3-hour drive. I had to stop twice at
Oh
chargers, but they're not even, with the Tesla superchargers, you're in and out of there like 20 minutes. These
yeah.
things, you
Oh
it takes like
no.
45 minutes just to get halfway. So like I stop at one and it was in a Wendy's parking lot. I'm like, well, that's a sign if I ever saw one. So I plug it in and go to Wendy's. I was like, all right, this isn't so bad.
Sure.
But like
Yeah.
I was kind of pushing it on time too. I had this country club gig. And so I was like, oh man, if I have to stop again, it's gonna be tight. And then it's not just like you stop for gas. I mean, you gotta stop and that's gonna add 30, 40 minutes to your
Yeah.
so
Right.
but I went to Wendy's, I charged up the car and I go in and I order chili and French fries at Diet Coke, right? Large
Sure.
fries.
Sure.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Whatever. Just because I'm,
I mean, I would have done a Dave's triple, but yeah, I hear you.
yeah.
You do you.
No, I'm trying to be cut back. So just a large French fries, a large chili, and a Diet Coke. So then, but then I eat it, of course, in like, I don't know, 4 minutes because I'm by myself, just staring at my phone, shoveling food. So then I'm like, okay, just another 36 minutes ago. So you're just sitting in Wendy's, kicking it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm still kind of hungry. Back to the counter, another
Yes.
a small chili, another large fries, and I'm like, oh my god, that was so much food. By the
That's how
time
they
I was
get
like
you.
finished that, I felt so bad about myself. And I was like, this is this electric car's fault, you know,
Yeah.
trying to save the world,
Yeah.
but you put them all in Wendy's parking lots. How about we put them in a Jamba Juice parking lot or something
Yeah.
with a
Put them in a
salad?
Curves parking lot.
Yeah, he had a 24-hour fitness. So that was my,
Yeah.
but I do think it would be good for like if you just had it for your house, like if you had one car you took trips with, and then that car would be great, and you just plug it in at night so in your own
Yep.
home, you never have to worry about it. But
Yeah.
because it drove cool, it was like a fun little. It was like it drove fast and it was fun to drive, but that part of it, I was like, oh, I can't do this for road trips.
Yeah. I'm all about electric cars, but until it's like so convenient.
Yeah, the Tesla, I've rented Teslas before, and I will say those are way better.
Yeah.
Like they go way farther on a charge, and then also if you do have to stop, if you stop like the Tesla superchargers, it's like quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still longer than a gas station, but it's not a big deal.
Wow.
And you're only gonna have to stop once for like a road trip style drive. So
Love it.
there you
Down the
go.
road. That's
There's a little rental car talk. Okay. Should we get any
the car
topics?
talk. Let's do the topics. I feel like you go first. I feel like I've
Okay.
gone first the
I'm
last
ready.
couple
I'm
of
ready with this one.
and I'm
So, like when Ginger's 3 and she's at that age where she tells you these stories that aren't both are A, not true, and B, aren't going anywhere.
sure. Yeah.
So I was like, my Grammy and Grampy took me to the cotton candy factory and we went to, and then, but I don't, I'm her dad. And so I'm like, Mr. Rogers, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Oh, I wish I could go to the cotton candy factory. I'm
Yeah.
really giving it up. And I have energy to do that all day long. Never will
Yeah.
miss that. Never going to roll my eyes at her ridiculous little stories.
Sure.
However, sometimes I'll pick her up from daycare and
Yeah.
these other kids come up to me and start giving me their babbling nonsense stories. I have no patience I got no time for that. Like, hey buddy, just it's a plastic truck. I see it. I've been in real trucks. Don't give a shit. I've been in a helicopter. You think I care about your toy truck? Just move out of the way. Let me get my daughter. I shouldn't have to. So that's what I need backup on is I
I
should.
just hold on before you talk about. I just am picturing you yelling at this kid. I've been in a helicopter. Your daughter's like, "Daddy, can we go? Hang on, hang on."
Hang
And you're
on.
just
I gotta tell
making
this
it
little
take
kid to
even longer.
shut up. This stupid dork. Tell me this awful
Okay.
story. So I think parents shouldn't have to talk like they shouldn't have to talk to other little kids with the same energy that you have to bring to your own kid. Like
Of course, I back that up.
if Ginger started prattling on to some stranger and they were just like, "Hey kid, I don't think any of that happened and I have no time to listen. I don't know where this is going." Sorry. And didn't give her like the whole big thing. I'd be fine with that. I'd be like, "Yeah, it
Yeah.
is not a great story." And also like when you're the parent, you kind of know like, "Oh, she's pulling this detail from when this happened," and then you can put together the little like
Yeah.
when someone cut up a treasure map, you can put the pieces together and figure out what it
Sure.
means.
Sure.
A regular person has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. What about? Let me ask you this. Where do you stand on? I'll back that up all day. Where do you stand on relatives like nieces and nephews?
Oh, that's tricky. Yeah, you kind of
It
have
is
to.
tricky.
You kind of have to
There's
do
that
it.
obligatory feeling of like obligatory.
It wasn't. I'm not laughing at you because you mispronounced obligatory. It was because you hit like every syllable, like you're trying to win Wheel of Fortune.
The spelling bee.
Obligatory. It's like you're spelling.
Obligatory. Using that sentence, please.
Yeah.
So where do you stand on that?
I hadn't even thought about that, and because I have no like nieces or nephews yet, but I'm about to have one. And you're right.
Oh,
You gotta give it up. You gotta be
yeah.
like you kind of have to be better than the parent in a weird way because you're trying to like show that you're the good uncle or you know
Yeah. They're always gonna love their parents, but to like be the uncle that they like, you
right.
really gotta earn it.
Yeah, so I guess family. But then if you're in a family where there's like 15 nieces and nephews, like a whole horde of
Yeah.
them, I don't know if I would have time for all of them. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, see, that's the boat I'm in. I do have.
Right.
I have. I have. I probably have
How
more than
many how
15.
many nieces and nephews do you have?
Oh my God. Here's the problem: is all my family, my brothers listen. So let's see. I'm going to count them.
Oh
I
god.
got
Cuz I was going to ask you
one,
to name
two.
them, but I was like I don't want to put you on the
I
spot.
could. I could. One
Could you?
plus. Yeah, but that's who wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, great. There's 40 names. I just listened to this podcast. One
What
plus
a One
Two
excuse.
plus, so there's 3 plus
I like how you're like, who wants to hear names? And
2.
you're just literally counting. One plus two plus three. Shut up, Andrew. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of random names. This is a podcast. Now where did I start? Okay, let me start over. One plus two.
I couldn't even keep track as I had it. I was like, wait, is that my total or is that the number of kids in that family? I don't know. I got a bunch. I got 2 families with 5, so I have more than 15.
So when you
Yeah.
go to like a gathering and everybody's there, you can't have the energy for all of them that you have for your own kids. There's just no way.
You have for your own kids? No, definitely not. I mean, and I'll say just as an older person, I used to have a lot more energy than I do now. But so did they, because a lot of the kids are older. A lot of them are in high school,
Yeah,
college now.
yeah, and you don't
And
have to
so,
give them the big show, like wow, or you don't have to
yeah,
watch them
yeah. Now they're
barely
people.
jump. Watch this, and you're like, I'm not gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Whatever you're
You gonna
gonna
let it
do,
jump? Why don't you
I'm,
watch this?
I'm gonna
That's a
do the
jump.
I'm gonna do the Wordle. You want to watch me do the Wordle? Watch this. My
Yeah.
starting word is house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. You backed me up. So
I'm
the
totally
I
back.
guess that was a good caveat though. I think if you have one, especially if you're like a one or two nephews or nieces, you gotta still give it up. Especially in my situation, I only have one kid. So and I'm gonna have one nephew or niece, so I have to be pretty good.
You gotta be on it.
But strange
You
like
gotta be
not
on it.
friends' kids or the other kids at daycare. No,
No.
no, no. Maybe a good friend's kids. Good friend's kid. Maybe.
Well, if it's a good enough friend, then they'll understand when you're like, hey, can you
Hey,
get your
shut
kid
up.
away from me? Can you tell your kid to go upstairs?
It's like they're talking to you, this little kid, and you're just looking over their head at their parents, like, "Are you gonna take care of this? Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to say something."
I'm gonna say Look, Valerie, nobody gives a shit what the fuck you're talking about. Go upstairs and paint or whatever the hell you fucking do.
All right. What do you need backup on,
All right, this is what I
Johnny?
need back up on. And honestly, it sounds like this comes from a recent purchase. This has been on my dock for a while. Car seat warmers. I think those should be part of the base model. Do you know how nice seat warmers in your car are? Our Prius, that's the first car I've ever had that has seat warmers. And I always thought,
Yeah.
that's stupid. Who needs a seat warmer?
Right.
Well, I live in Wisconsin and that button is always pushed in. It's never turned off and it's fucking great. It should be
Yeah.
standard in
I'm with you.
cars.
I've never had a seat. My car doesn't have seat warmers. My one time, my mom had a Prius, different Prius,
Yeah.
and my dad for like I don't know what it was, birthday or Christmas, had seat warmers installed in the, like as a
Oh,
present, and she swears it was like the best present she ever got in her life. So I'm with you.
yes.
Seat belts, seat warmers, you know, those like rear view backup cameras are basically standard. I never when I rent
Yeah.
cars, I never see a car that doesn't have one of those
Yeah.
because I think what you have to do to get it to be standard is somehow make it about safety.
Yep.
So like the
Yeah,
camera
that's happening because
thing,
now the cameras are standard, right?
right? And the airbags are standard, and the if it's a
Yeah.
safety feature, they'll standardize it. So somehow
Yeah.
you have to convince people that your cold ass is your
It's
ass is
dangerous.
dangerously cold.
Yeah.
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 Like
Mm.
hypothermia in cars is killing people at
Yeah,
an
like it's
alarming
my
rate.
seat was so cold that I numbed my butt and I shit my pants. Didn't realize I shit my pants because it was so numb. And then I
Yeah.
slid off my seat and
And
got stuck under the
off a
wheel.
mountain.
Yeah.
Or
I
I
was just of a mountain.
I was so
Oh,
cold and my car didn't have seat warmers, and my friend had just told me about how his car had seat warmers, so I shot myself in the face
in the fucking
because I
face.
was so jealous and
Yeah.
depressed.
I think we can get this done. I think we can get
Okay,
this done.
call your congressman.
Yeah, call your congressman. Tell him the diarrhea story, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, but a seat warmer's nice.
It
The
really is.
Sometimes the I was in a Uber coming home from the airport the other day, and have you noticed like some nowadays like Ubers are like super nice cars all of a sudden? Do you take a lot of Ubers, lifts?
After that Fish concert, we got an Uber to the hotel. It was a fucking that was the first time I
Yeah,
ever been inside of a Tesla.
yeah.
Why is if you can afford a Tesla, why are
No,
you driving
something's
Uber?
going
I didn't
on.
understand that.
Something's going on. I think they're like there's a scam going where they're renting like these poor drivers have to like they'll rent like these really nice, and a lot of times they're like electric cars, I think, to save the money on the gas or whatever. But
Yeah.
then they've got to pay somebody for the car, like a weekly total for the car, and then they have to drive so much to cover that, and then everything else they make is profit because there's like you said, everybody's got some fancy SUV, super brand new Tesla. This car, he had seat warmers in the back seat. He's like, "Hey, you want to?"
Oh
And it was
wow.
like instantly hot. It was a little too. I
Yeah.
was like, Jesus. I had to
Jesus,
like
my
set it
hole's
to
burning up.
medium. I know. But yeah, it's funny because like when Uber started, remember it was like there's potato chips in the back, and somebody's car seat was always back there.
They got their kid with them.
Yeah, that happened to me once. The driver had their kid with him,
Yeah.
and now it's like all these town car drivers like, "Hello, sir." They've really upped the game.
It really has.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm
Oh,
backing
good.
you up.
And you're back.
Seat warmers,
All
seat
right.
warmers.
Nice.
Get on it.
Nice.
Nice. Well, episode 200, very
There you
special.
go,
It felt
folks. Very
special,
special.
different from the rest in a lot of ways.
We talked shit.
Yeah, and mild
Uh,
inconveniences.
that's right.
Johnny got a new car.
I got a new car. I didn't even tell I told one of my brothers, but I didn't tell the other two or my sisters. I always act like I talk about my brothers, but I just leave out the sisters.
Yeah, you got sisters.
You know what? My sister Melissa listens. That's why I leave them out because Amy and Carrie don't. They're not avid listeners. I know Melissa listens.
My brothers do not listen, but my brother's good friend listens, and he's one of our Patreon subscribers. So,
What do you think? How long do you think that it's been since Heidi has listened to the Cavalry?
and I brought this up the other night because she listens to these other podcasts that annoy me sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's probably been since who was on. Oh, Jill Kimmel. I know she listened to Jill because she wanted to
Okay.
know if Jill would talk about her ex, who is my best friend, Jason. So I think
Oh, okay.
that she was hoping to hear like drama.
And it
That's
didn't
how to
come
get
up.
Heidi back, is if we can get some drama going.
Turn it into a reality show.
Yes. Oh, by the way, we should talk Love is Blind in the
Oh my
social
God.
banter because she got me
Yes.
watching it.
Are you all caught up?
I think so, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't care about
We'll talk.
spoilers. All right.
Okay.
That's
Good.
it. Thank you everybody for listening. If you want to, speaking of your family, I want to plug these dates. They're far away, okay? But these are shows I'm nervous about selling. So
Okay.
Omaha, April 18th,
Ooh.
right? We gotta
Okay,
have
tell me
somebody
closer
listening.
too. I'll send out some
Yeah.
blasts.
Kansas City, April 19th, Lincoln,
Oh,
Nebraska.
I got friends in Kansas City. I can help
Yep.
with that.
All these shows. This is like the Johnny Bean. You should be doing these shows. And then what's the 20th? Lincoln, Nebraska, and then the 21st, Wichita. So that's the April 3rd week. Though that's a run. All the things are on my website, venues, but These are all self-produced shows, so we gotta sell some tickets. And if you guys, anyone listening in those areas, check it out on my website. Johnny.
All right. I had corporate stuff. I think that's a close to the public. All right, I'll just do my April 20th in Delafield. That's a we got some time, folks.
Yeah.
Delafield, Wisconsin. Okay.
All right. Thanks everybody. 200. Feels
200.
good.
There it is. Woo.
Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts.
Tune in to the Patreon, the post show for. We got 2 topics. I got another topic I'm gonna bring up.
Ooh. All right. Good teaser. All right. That's it. Thank you everybody for listening to The Cavalry.